Imagine for a moment that you read the King of Judah during a time when everyone thinks God is completely done with your nation. You've just finished a massive project renovating the temple, and you having a final walkthrough to make sure everything is perfect before the grand reopening ceremony. And then suddenly, wouldn't you know it, one of your priests comes running up behind you, all out of breath, and hands you a dusty old book that was found behind some loose bricks in the wall. It turns out this book was the very first book of the law written by Moses. And as the priest begins to read it to you, verse by verse, you hear the words of God that you have never heard in your entire life, because they were lost and forgotten. How would you react if you were King Josiah? Let's read 2 Kings, chapter 22, verses 8 to 13. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes. And he stood in the place where they read the book of the law before the Lord, and he sent to all the people, saying, Assemble yourselves at the Lord's house, which is at Jerusalem, within 3 days. Come, assemble yourselves there. And it will come to pass, when you have assembled all the elders and all the heads of the people at the house of the Lord, that I will read to them all the words that I have found. So the people returned to the city, and they made a fast. Then they assembled themselves in the house of the Lord. And after they had assembled, he took the book of the law from the hands of the priest Hilkiah, and gave it to the people. And he said to them, Read, I pray you, from the first book of the law of Moses, and do so until you have read it all. And they read it to him, from the first book until the last. And afterward the king commanded the people to have the book of the law written down in copies, so that it might be read, and a copy was given to the people. And as the people departed, they went each to their house. The king himself also did not hinder them. Now, can you imagine the shock and awe that Josiah and everyone else felt as they realized the magnitude of what had just been found? This event would change the religious history of Judah forever. Do you think that Josiah knew that this was God's way of giving them a second chance, that God wasn't done with them after all? Well, as you can see by his actions, he certainly believed it. As soon as he heard the words of God, he immediately repented and began to seek the Lord with all of his heart. He humbled himself before God and cried out for mercy for both himself and his people. This caused God to forgive him and set his nation back on the path of righteousness. You see, friends, no matter how far you may have wandered from God, no matter how much you may feel like you've messed up, God still has plans and purposes for you. It's just like he did for King Josiah and the nation of Judah. If you'll only open your heart and let him in, he'll show you what your purpose is, and he'll give you the strength and power to accomplish it. So never give up hope, my friend. God isn't through with you yet. He still has plans and dreams for your future. All you have to do is believe it and receive it by faith. This is the host with the Bible Project. And remember, never get tired of seeking the Lord.